So today is Tuesday, and normally it is Tabata Tuesday, but this week, because we're not going to have class on Thursday, we're going to do a Thanksgiving themed workout. I think we've done this one before, but if you look at the list of exercises on the left and start at the top and go down to the bottom, you will see that it spells out the word Thanksgiving. So that is what we are going to do today, just to have a little bit of fun for our workout. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with our toe lifts. So today we've got 12 exercises. We're gonna do 45 seconds work, 15 seconds rest, 2 rounds. And it is our Thanksgiving themed workout for this week. So it spells out the word Thanksgiving. Heels up, right, and left. I have to have a little bit of fun with all of you during the holidays. So remember, we are going to have a couple of Christmas themed workouts as well. Let's bring those knees up. We're going to try to march, try to get those thighs parallel to the floor. Add a little bicep curl. Good, 8, 7, 4, 3, hamstring curls, tricep, press it back. So I figured I'd just switch it up a little bit since we don't have class on Thursday, but we do still have our normal classes on a Black Friday. 4, 3, knees up. We're gonna add a little torso rotation, start to wake up our spine. So just kind of be aware that today we do have a little bit more up and down than we normally do. Good, 4, 3, back to those curls. We're going to pull it back. So think about a single arm band pull or row. Squeeze that shoulder blade in towards the spine. 4, 3, feet hip width apart right here. Slow deadlift. Bring it up nice and tall. So hinge, hinge, lift, lift. So take it down, reach for your socks, pull them up. Now we're reaching for the pants. Same thing, speed it up, down and lift. I like to think about pressing my heels of my hands into my thighs, like I'm giving myself a little massage. Take it forward, hold it in place, open and close your book. If you don't want to be in the forward hinge position, you can absolutely do this standing. The challenge is to keep your hips pointing forwards. 2, good, bring it all the way up, arms down, reach and pull. So think about doing a pull-up, reach that shin up over the bar. Elbows down and back. 3, 2, take the arms out in front, slow squat, hinge it down, stand up nice and tall. So you can see it's a little challenging. My arms are staying parallel to the floor, and I'm not dropping my body down just to keep my arms up, but I'm also not arching my low back to keep the arms up. So down, down, lift, lift. Couple more. Good, right foot forward and back, forward and center, back and center. I'm changing it up on you a little bit today. So it's a little forward step, center, back and center. You can keep it as just a step, or if you'd like, you can add a little bit of a knee drop. Take it for our lunges. Good, switching legs right here. So forward, center, back, center. Good, 4 more. So this is a pass-through lunge. We're not doing these in our workout today, but we are waking up those knees. Good, 2 more. 1 more. Good, step it out to the side, side lunge, hold it in place. Little side to side, reach, reach. Here's 4, 3, 2, bring it in the center, hold it here, cat-cow, inhale, exhale. So a little bit of spine movement. If you don't want to arch and round, you're gonna belly breathe. Good, 1 more. Take it up. We're going to do our plank walkouts. I'm going to turn just because I don't have space to walk forwards. We're going to walk it out, and then we're going to walk it back. So we are doing this today. It's called an inchworm, technically. So this is our inchworm. When we do our inchworm, You have an option to do a push-up as well, but again, it's optional. You can just work on your inchworms. And I will try to give you modifications for the things if you don't want to go down to the floor today. Completely understand. Good, let's walk it all the way back up. Bring it into the center. Last exercise, we're gonna do just our little jumps, little jumps. So your first option is just a little heel bounce, little heel stomp. Option 2 is a full jump. 4, 3, march it out, shake it out, roll the shoulders up, back and down. Grab a quick drink of water. I forgot to start my timer. So does the workout count if you don't start your timer? I am doing either functional strength training or regular strength training. So 45 seconds work. We have 12 exercises, 1 through 12, short rest, and then we will repeat. So we're gonna start with tricep kickbacks. Tricep kickbacks. Like I said, it's a little different today. I just kind of wanted to have fun. So 45 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. So just a nice good tricep kickback. So good kick and back in. Now we're doing 2 sets. We're gonna do exercises 1 through 12, and then we're going to rest, and then we'll repeat. So you just have 45 seconds of triceps, and you can do alternating if you're starting to, kind of feel it today, or just a nice good alternating or both arms at the same time kickback. Big thing is I want you to use your triceps. If you want to make it a little more challenging, don't bring your hands all the way up to your shoulders. Stop when your hands are about in line with your hips. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going for the H in Thanksgiving, we have high knees. You can do a high knee march. You can jog high knees. It's completely up to you. So you can grab some dumbbells, hold on to them if you'd like. 2 and 1. So we're working on a little bit of core here. Just nice, good high knee lift. Again, if you want to keep it more cardio, if you're like, I need some cardio today, I'm not going to be able to get my walk, you can keep it lighter. But this is our strength workout for today. So I want you to think about nice, good lifts. The leg that's on the floor, push that floor away. You're going to feel a little bit of a lockout in those muscles. You don't have to completely lock out your knees, but I want you to get a nice good squeeze. And then the challenge is, can we try not to wobble, to weeble wobble? Chris up at 50 North always said weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Good, rest. All right, alternating side raises, alternating side raises. So you can do arms at 90, lift and lower, or you're gonna take those arms, shoulders down and back, brace your core right here. Now I'm alternating because I'm going a little heavy. If you wanna do both at the same time, technically you can. But just for the name's sake, we're doing alternating side raises. So I like to keep a little bit of a soft knee, tail feathers tucked. So I don't keep myself perfectly straight. I soften my knee and I brace my core, little tail feather tuck. Good, we've got 15 seconds. After this, we're going to have narrow squats. Narrow squats. So that just means your feet are going to be about hip width apart, or a little bit closer. Last one. Good. All right, narrow squats. So hip width apart or maybe a little bit closer. We just don't want to have fully knocked knees. 2 and 1. So a little bit narrower than what we normally do. And bring it in. Little narrower and bring it in. So it's okay if you don't get all the way to the floor. But think about what we practiced yesterday. Getting down to the floor. We got to set something down and pick it back up again. It's okay if your squat is here. You may notice it's a little bit more knee for a narrow squat. Or if you've got mobility issues with some of your joints, you might notice that narrow squats are a little bit trickier. But if you watch my knees, they're not getting closer together or farther apart. It's kind of hard to see dark on dark. but try to keep the space between your thighs about the same. Good, bring it in. All right, knee to elbow. You can do standing knee to elbow, or you can be in a plank position, knee to elbow, and that can be in an incline plank. 3, 2, 1, good. So knee to elbow, knee to elbow. We're gonna do 1 round crossing. 1 round, we're gonna do knee to elbow on the same side. So the knee to elbow is what I want you to think about. Shoulders are over your wrists. If you're on the floor, keeping a nice, good body position. Less than 20 seconds. And as always, you can rest for a moment. Child's pose, bring it back up, and then rotate. 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, shoulder presses. Shoulder presses. If you don't want to do shoulder presses, you can do front raises. It's completely up to you how you're feeling today, but something for your shoulders. Here's 2 and 1. So press and lower, press and lower. Now I'm taking my arms, my elbows are out towards the corners. So they're not perfectly straight out to the side, a little bit out to the corner. If you need to keep them elbows pointing forwards, that's okay too. That's okay too. So same thing, soft knees, belly buttons in. Got 15 seconds, we're gonna go for goblet squats. So it's a little bit of a wider squat. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna go for goblet squats. So wider stance, toes forward or a little bit out towards the corner. Goblet squats, I want you to hold the dumbbells right at your chest. Here's 2 and 1. So you're gonna drop it down and then come back up. So it's just like if your elbows are trying to go between your thighs. If you don't wanna do 2 dumbbells, you're welcome to hold 1 dumbbell, but I want it to be at your chest. So I want you to think about, if you watch the lifters that have the bars on their backs, this is similar to that, but it's a little bit easier on your shoulders. But we're still staying a little bit more upright. We're not going to be perfectly upright, but you're gonna stay pretty tall. This is a little bit more inner thigh and hip. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Incline chest presses, incline chest presses. On your buns, you're going to lean back just a little bit. You can do this sitting in a chair, or if you are staying standing today, grab a band, incline chest press, right here. If you're standing, your chest press is just gonna be angled up a little bit, or you can always do a reverse chest fly. This is an option if all you have is dumbbells, okay? So good chest fly. Otherwise, sitting on the floor, leaning back in a chair, that'll give you a little support. We don't want to turn it straight into overheads, all right? We don't want to go straight out in front. Just where the wall and the ceiling meet. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, staying on the floor, we're gonna do V-sit, Russian twist, so side to side. If you're standing, you are more than welcome to be here or hold a dumbbell, rotate, your time is on. So if you're standing, this is an option for you. Rotate, rotate, okay, hip to hip. You don't have to have a dumbbell, but if you wanna have a dumbbell, have one. But most of us, we're down on the floor, rotate and rotate. If you don't want to rotate, I totally understand that. If you're sitting on the floor, you're going to be here. You're just going to do a nice good reach. If you're standing, you can do a press out. It's going to be a little bit more shoulders, or you can do a farmer's carry and just focus on walking around, bracing your core. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're going to come up. We're gonna stay on the floor to start, but we're gonna do our inchworms. So I'm just gonna start on the floor in my plank position, and I'm going to do my walk out and my walk back up. Good, so your first option right here, walk yourself back up and down. So walk it out, nice good plank walk out, walk it back up. If you're staying upright, this is a really good one to do with your hands on the seat of a chair. Now here's an option if you want to try something a little different. You walk your hands out, you hold your plank, and now you walk your toes in. So you're kind of in a down dog, and if you have room, walk yourself out into a plank, walk your toes in. Then you can carefully come to standing, turn around. So just think like an inchworm. You can either be the inchworm that crawls out and then sees the bird, or the one that doesn't see anything and you just keep working. Good. Bring it all the way back up. We're gonna do a neutral grip row. That just means palms facing in. Good, 3, 2, and 1. So just a nice good hinge forward, drive and release, drive and release. So neutral grip row just means palms facing in, pinkies pointing behind you, thumbs pointing forwards. Drive the elbows back. Last exercise is going to be glute bridges. If you're standing, you can do a glute kickback, or you can do deadlifts. So that way you don't have to go down onto the floor. We've got 12 seconds. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, glute bridges. If you're standing, option 1, glute kickback. Option 2, deadlifts or good mornings. The rest of us down on the floor, knees bent, feet flat. After this, we have a short break. Good, time's on. We have a short rest, and then we're going to take a breather, come back up, and we're gonna go for round number 2. So nice good lift, nice good lower. So nice good inhale, exhale, 15 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Give yourself a break, a little rest, a little pat on the back. Come to seated. If you're on the floor, if you're walking around, or you're upright, you're walking around, we can all take a minute, come up, grab a drink, short break. We're going to go right through those 12 exercises again. So go ahead and get ready. You're going to grab those dumbbells for our tricep kickbacks. 6, in 4, 3, 2, 1. So nice good tricep kickbacks. So hinge it up. We're just going to take it back and bring it in. Remember, if it takes you an extra minute to get up off of the ground, it's okay. Technically, you could do skull crushers on the ground if you wanted to. So the whole goal for this one, it's the T, so it's the triceps, and that's what I want you to focus on. Good, 20 seconds. If you start feeling a little tired, little muscles get tired quicker, you can try alternating, or lower the heavy weights, grab a little bit lighter, and try to keep going. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, bring it up. Going for our high knees. So remember your options. I'm gonna go a little bit heavier this set. So we're just gonna do that nice good high knee march. Here's 2 and 1. So lift and lift. So if anybody has my number and wants to message me to remind me to vacuum the floor up here, please do. I never remember to do it unless I'm in class and I've stepped on something. So I just need to think about vacuuming. I don't need another splinter in my foot like last week. Good, so lift and lift. 15 seconds. So good high knees, working those hip flexors, bracing our core, shoulder blades against our torso. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Alternating side raises. So you can go a little heavier and alternate, or if all you have is the light stuff, 2 and 1. You're more than welcome to do both at the same time. But doing one side at a time, especially if you're starting to go a little heavier, is going to work your core, because what happens when it's heavy, we like to lean or we swing a little bit. If you're going a little heavier, especially if you alternate, you're having to work your obliques on the side of your body that's opposite the arm that's lifting. So I'm having to keep my core nice and stable. 15 seconds. This is kind of when they talk about functional core. So you're trying to keep the core braced and stable while you do things throughout your day. 3, 2, and 1. Narrow squats. Narrow squats. So go ahead, grab your dumbbells, or you can stick with no dumbbells as well. Remember, this is our strength workout. 3, 2, and 1. Shoulders down, brace the core. So it's just a narrower squat. So imagine you're on skis, and I know you normally wouldn't have your skis quite this close together, but you're on skis, and we want to do, I always learned pizza and french fries. So you want to do french fries. You want to have 2 french fries right next to each other. We don't want to have it shaped like a pizza with our toes and our knees going in. So just french fries right here. Or think feet parallel to each other if you're into math and geometry. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. All right, knee to elbow, standing or plank. This time we're going to do same side, same side. So even if you're at an incline plank, you're gonna take your knee to your elbow on the same side. 2 and 1. So we're gonna take it knee to elbow, knee to elbow. So I'm not doing side bending if I'm in my plank position. I'm just doing a little teeny tiny crunch, and I'm bringing my knee to the elbow on the same side. So I'm kind of doing a little froggy position here. If you're standing, you can even just do a wide march, but I like doing a little bit of a bend. No, your elbow does not have to touch your knee. Good, we've got 12 seconds. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, bring it up. Shoulder presses, or you can do front raises. That's perfectly fine. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So your option 1, elbows in, show me the end of your dumbbell. I want to see the end. Option 2 is you just open your elbows out towards the corners. Little bit more unstable for the shoulders, but you can always lighten the load and give it a shot, see how you feel. Again, I don't open my arms straight out to the side. I angle them in just a little bit. Scapular plane. For a lot of people, it's a little bit more comfortable for your shoulder, just biomechanically, a little bit safer. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Goblet squats. Goblet squats. 1 dumbbell, 2 dumbbells. I like to hold it at my chest. Wider stance. Toes forward or a little bit out. Here's 2 and 1. So I do a little tail feather tuck, and I try to keep that tucked, braced position while I do my squats. So it seems kind of weird. If you push your hips back, you end up losing mobility in your hips when you're trying to do squats. but you don't have to have that huge tuck. You just want that little tuck. Pull the ribs and the hips a little bit closer together, especially in the front. It's okay if your squat is up here. It does not have to be buns to heels. We want to try to avoid a big drop forwards. Okay, those are deadlifts. We want to sit. 2 and 1. Good job. Incline chest press. Leaning back in a chair is a great way to do this one. If that doesn't work for you, just do a chest press. That's okay. We just want to work our chest a little bit. So we're going to press it out and in, out and in. And yes, you can have your palms facing in, just like you would if you were on the floor. We just don't want to accidentally turn this into another shoulder press here. And if we lean back and we're punching forwards, that's getting your shoulders. It really is. So we want that little bit of an incline, get a little bit more chest here. And if you need to, there's nothing wrong with being on your back and doing just a basic chest press. This is a really good one to do if you have a stability ball. 3, 2, and 1. V-sit, Russian twist. Standing core rotations, or mummy kicks. That's all right too. So shoulders down and back. We're gonna lean back a little bit, little C curve, and we're just gonna rotate. We're gonna rotate. So if you're standing, again, a little bit of a hinge, and if you had a dumbbell, you could absolutely think about doing this. With a little hinge forward, drive the elbow back, pull the hand towards the front of your hips. If you're on the floor, you're gonna do a little bit more core in the front. If you're standing, you do a little bit more core in the back. We've got 15 seconds. Your amount of rotation will be different than mine. You might just be going from knee to knee, little tiny rotations. Good, 3, 2, and 1. Inchworms. Inchworms, inchworms. So I like to start on the floor. Remember, you can walk yourself back or walk yourself out and then walk yourself back. 3, 2, and 1. So you can just walk yourself to a standing position, walk yourself out to a plank. If you're doing this with a chair, you're gonna walk yourself back to a plank and then forward to standing. But you have the option here. I walk myself to a plank. Now I'm gonna tippy-toe myself forwards, walk myself out to a plank, tippy-toe my way forwards, and then I come up to standing and I turn around. Now you might have enough room in your living room or wherever you are that you can just walk yourself from one end of the living room to the other. I do not have that much space. 3, 2, and 1. All right, bring yourself up to standing. Neutral grip rows. Neutral grip rows. That is palms facing in, just like a standard row that we always do. 2, and 1. Shoulders down and back, ribs tucked, hinge it forward. Drive, down, drive, and down. So just reach the elbow back, pulling the hand towards the front of the pelvis. Does not have to go past. So if you find that you're going past or you feel like your shoulder is kind of popping forwards, try not to let that shoulder pop forwards. We want to think down and back. Good, 15 seconds. And we're gonna go for glute bridges. Remember, standing option, deadlift, or a glute kickback. Here's 2, and 1. Carefully bring it up. Gonna head down to the floor for our glute bridges, or stay standing if you're going to do a kickback or your deadlifts. We just wanna work our glutes. That's the G in Thanksgiving. Your time is on. Now you can just lift and hold. Nothing says you have to lift and lower. You're more than welcome to just lift and hold. This is isometrics, and this is still gonna get your glutes nice and strong. So nice, good hold, lift it. Now, if you want to add the lower and the lift, you absolutely can. We're trying to barely touch our hips down to the floor and then come right back up again. We're thinking time under tension. So if we keep that muscle a little bit tight the whole time, we're working on a little bit of endurance. So we're just focusing on keeping that muscle working as much as possible with maybe a little rest, but then right back into it. Good, rest, bring it down, shake it out. Give yourself a little bit of a break. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down into your back pocket. You can grab a drink. If you're on the floor, you're just gonna hang out down here for a minute. We're gonna do our stretching on the floor. If you wanna stay standing, that's okay too. That's okay too. So we're just gonna start by taking our legs out nice and straight. And I want you to think about pulling your toes so that they're pointing to the ceiling. Knees are pointing up to the ceiling, and I want you to sit tall. If you're really tight and you can't get this 90 degree, then I want you to still sit tall, but then I want you to lean back just a little bit. Hands can support you. So you can kind of see the difference between being tall. Maybe your knees pop up when you're here, so if you straighten your knees, you might just lean back a little. There's a difference between here and here. So shoulders down and back, but your goal is to keep your knees as straight as you can. Have as much of the back of your leg touching the floor as you can between your hips and your heels. Now, if I really flex my feet, my heels lift off the ground just because my muscle pushes it up, my calves. But we're just trying to get a nice good stretch right here. So I want you to feel a little stretch, still being tall. Still being tall. This is not tall, and this is not tall. Nice and tall. 3, 2, and 1. Now we're gonna take our frog. Bottoms of the feet touching. Again, rotate that pelvis so you're sitting on your sits bones. You should feel just 2 bony spots kind of right under your hips. Hands can be back by your hips if you need them to. And I can tell the difference even with this. Yeah, we didn't do a lot of curtsies or side-to-side movement today, and I can feel my hips are tighter than they were yesterday when we did those skaters and stuff. So even day to day, the way you feel when you move and you stretch is going to be different. Good. Here's 2 and 1. Bring it in. We're going to flip it over, hands and knees, sitting back, child's pose. If you need to come to standing, that's okay. Hands on the seat of the chair, hands against a wall. Soft knees, soft hips. We're hinging forwards, stretching out underneath the arms. You can add a little wiggle side to side if you'd like. Good. Take your right hand under the left arm, thread the needle, palm facing up, rotate the shoulder down towards the floor. Just a little upper and mid back stretch. Bring it in, switch it over to the other side. Hand threads the needle, palm is facing up to the ceiling, little torso rotation, still reaching that arm out. In 2 and 1. Bring it into the center. We're going to come up to hands and knees. So nice, good hands and knees position, shoulders down and back. We're just going to do hula hoop hips. So variation of a cat-cow. All right, change direction. So you're still doing a gentle arch and a gentle round, but now you're adding in a little movement to the left and the right. Good, bring it into the center. Walk your hips back towards your heels. We're gonna come to a half kneeling position. We're gonna tuck our tail, squeeze our glute, and we're just gonna do a little forward and back push. If this is not comfortable for you, place something underneath that back knee, or come to standing. So if you're standing, you're gonna kind of do the same thing. You keep your tuck, you keep your squeeze, and you're just gonna do a little forward and back push. Your goal is to stretch the front of your pelvis. So you should kind of feel this right in that crease in your hip. Good. We're going to take it back. Hold your tuck, hold your squeeze. Make sure that you've got a straight line going back to your heel. The leg that's in front, pat yourself on the back, swing around, reach for the opposite shoulder. Pat on the back, swing it around. So we're trying to keep that pelvis tucked, holding that neutral spine so we can get good mobility in that shoulder. Good. Release, bring it in, switch it over to the other side, same thing. So nice, good half kneeling position, standing or on the floor. Tuck your tail, squeeze your glute, little push forward, little push back. We shouldn't feel like our front heel wants to lift off the floor. If it does, your foot might be a little far back. Try walking it out just a hair. I like to start with my ankle under my knee, or if you're really flexible, you might be able to start it with your ankle a little in front of your knee. Here's 2. And 1, bring it in. Keep the tuck, keep the squeeze. Leg that's in front, that arm, pat on the back, and then reach it. We're trying to do a little shoulder mobility. Now you might be just bringing your hand to the top of your head and your hand to your hip. That's okay. You want to try to find that fairly pain-free range of motion. Last one. Good. Shake it out. Pull that front leg back a little bit. We're going to come up to a standing position. We're going to roll the shoulders up, back, and down into our back pockets. Thumbs pointing forwards. Now we're going to take our hands, flex your wrists, and we're going to roll the shoulders up, back, and down into your back pocket. Now go the other direction. Good. Let's take those arms out to the side, reach the fingers back, shoulder blades packed against the torso, and again, just little circles. We're going to wash the walls in our house, both sides at the same time. Change direction. Or maybe your hallway at least. Good. Bring it down. Arms down, ear to shoulder, side to side. Bring the head up. We're going to look to one side, look to the other. There's 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in the center. So a little different today. Big breath in. Right hand grabs the left wrist. Gently pull it up and over. And if this is not comfortable for you, you can just do this. This is okay too. And then bring it down. And again, big breath in, left hand gently grabs the right wrist, and it's really about kind of pulling up and over. You can see I really don't go very far. Just trying to lengthen the side of the body. 4, 3, 2, bring it down. Couple deep breaths in, spread the fingers, spread the toes, and exhale. Good, one more time, big breath in, and out, and you are all done.